Hello and welcome to my draft thingy magic. I don't know. So this is a VGC draft league that I took over another guy's draft called Mega, and this is a video about my week 2 match. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play the first week because I didn't have the draft before now. So let's go over the first matchup. My draft is the one to the left. So at the first glance I see a draft that is very double heavy, like double heavy is not the right word, but he has some really nice duos like Dreadnought plus Meowstick Male, because he can set up the rain dance for his Dreadnought. He has Togetic Hatron, where he can follow me Trick Room, he can Helping Hand, whatever. He can go Pheromosa Togetic and just follow me and start boosting up with Pheromosa. He can go for follow me setup and then speed swap with his Pheromosa into whatever sweeper he wants, like Marowak. He has some kinda annoying mons for me to deal with, like Salazzle, like Bronzer. The new Galar might be annoying, but it's not the best one. Hatron, kinda annoying. Dreadnought is the main thing that makes this match really scary to deal with, or Gouge too. So, looking into what mons are the best here. So I think that Brimstar, Feeny, Registry, Gourgeist, and Monsei are just... It doesn't matter what he brings, I don't see these ones being bad. I don't see this dragging me down. Now, Mesprit, Centiskorch, Santos, and Odino really depends on what he actually brings. Because if he brings the right mons, then for example, Mesprit is really nice since it hits everything with Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Energy Ball. Centiskorch is really nice since it's bulky, it can Struggle Bug, it can Dynamax, is immune to Charm and Fake Tears from Meowstic. Zapdos is Zapdos. This is not the best version for Zapdos because of Electivire, because of Marowak, because of Dreadnought. And Odino is just blue. It's not amazing, but it can set up Trick Room, it can Helping Hand, it can Yawn, it can Ally Switch. It's just nice to have around, it's never bad. It's never terrible to bring this, as long as I don't let it stay in for too long, since it's really passive. And Vertigon, it's just a worse Mudsail, it's a worse Gourgeist, it doesn't really do it. It doesn't provide me with anything except like Glare. But then again, one of its most threatening mons, Hatron, is immune to Glare, so no thanks. Drifloon is a good mon, but if we look back, his Dreadnought just outspeeds because Drifloon is base 70, Dreadnought is base 75, so I can't really go the Tailwind route because it just kills me. On the other side, it's just terrible against Trick Room. So yeah, not to bring. But yeah, so Brimsnarl, I have options with Brimsnarl. I can Screams, I can go for some annoying fake out trick like Incense type deals. I can fake Tears to make my special mons better. It's just nice. I don't really lose anything from bringing it. Feeny is actually not the best here. Dragouge, Dreadnought, Electivire, Salazzle, all these ones pressure Feeny, so I can't really go for a Calm Mindset, for example. But just Misty Terrain in itself is really nice, so that Togetic can spam Yawn, so that Meowstic can't Thunder Wave stuff, so that Salazzle can't Wisp me. It's just good. Also, it checks Pheromosa. Gorgas is really cool. Like it hits Dreadnought with grass, it hits Hatchrin with ghost, it hits Pheromosa with ghost, it takes a lot from grass too because Pheromosa is bulky, Dragalge takes a decent chunk, Miastic dies, Stoic walls but can take multiple max phantasms because of the death drops. I mean the defense drops. E-Wire, it resists electric, and I can hit it hard in return, but it can when Ice Smash or something. Marowak, it resists ground, Salazzle, it can just kill, but Salazzle is actually a little bit scary because Wispen, it does a lot with its fire moves. Bronzor dies, Lanoon Alar can be annoying with foul play. I'm not sure if Max Overgrowth KOs it, but Gorgas just hits. Basically, it hits everything. Something that I was considering was Gorgas Small instead of Gorgas Super because it gives me the jump on Electivire, on Dreadnought, if I have Talon for example. That's really it. I lose out on bulk and offense if I do that. Gorgas isn't that strong. It's strong because of super effective rules, but it's not really the strongest one ever. GMX Runner actually gives a max overdrive with a reflect alone because of Gigantamax HP double. Mudsail was a one I barely put on this prep because, well, Dreadnought is really annoying. But if you ignore Dreadnought, it kind of just kills everything else. It deals with basically everything. Dragalge was the one that was really scary for me to deal with. If I before I had Mudstale, my only real counter to it was my Registeel, and I don't really want to I don't see myself bringing Registeel every game here, so it gives me just a good mon all around that deals with some of his threats. Registeel. How does it kill Registeel with screen stuff, for example, that you can't kill it reliably, even like Dynamax Marowak can't even kill KO it if I have a Seal Spike boost and Reflect up with my Dynamax up. It kinda hits everything. It hits also with Steel, Dragalge with Ground, Hatchrin with Steel, Venom with Ground. Only thing it doesn't hit is Bronzor, and I specifically put Shadow Claw for that one. So let's go over the team. I'm bringing Spooky, the Gorgas Super, with the White Herb. Pretty normal set, just attacks. I was considering Trick Room on the Odino so that I have the option of going Trick Room, but I have a lot of bulk. I have double heal pulse, I have screens, all the other ones are bulky, so I didn't really see myself leading any speed control, except Priority with Shadow Sneak is nice. I'm running the White Herb that is specifically to deal with the Meowstick. I don't want the Charm or Fake Tears Me. That's really it. I didn't really need an item on Spooky to begin with, so why not? Grimjob, the Grimmsnarl, I'm running a really very normal set. Dual screen, Spirit Break Taunt. Taunt deals with Bronzor, it deals with Meowstick. Meowstick just loses to this thing 1v1 and I can taunt it. Deals with Target Take 2. I was considering Swagger with on tempo on Hast, the Mudstale, but taunt is just nice to deal with. It's more annoying ones. Aqua, the Tapu Fini. Fini can't really be offensive here because so much just threatens it, but Misty Rain is so good, so I'm running a Kibia Berry set with Heal Balls, Dual Stab, Protect. The reason I'm running Dazzling Gleam Scald is because I don't want to miss with another water. Scald is nice if I, let's say, remove the Misty Terrain with my Gorgas if I Dynamax it. Next one, is stored. The Registeel. This is just a really like stupid bootleg medical set. Weakness Falsy, 3 attacks protect. I have self-proc with Odino, but this thing is just impossible to take down without actually using a super effective move with my reflex up and stuff. So like, you can power me up, or you can just let Registeel live, which can be a problem depending on how you place it. So I want to have a way to activate it myself. Heidi, the Odino, pretty like, I was considering Trick Room, as I said before, but I thought that spamming Yawn is really annoying to deal with if I don't have Mr. Terrain up, so that people actually have to take down Odino instead of just targeting around it, because it's really passive. Helping Hand is Helping Hand. Really a lot to say. Heal Pulse is my game plan hand is just Dynamax, set up screens, and keep my Dynamax Abuser alive with Heal Pulse Fan. And Drain Punch, self-proc. I'm not going to take the chance of burning myself with Fire Punch, even though Fire Punch is better against most of his team. Drain Punch really only hits Slime Galar, which can actually be pretty annoying if it brings it, but I think I should be fine. And Hast, the Mudstail. So something cool I have with this is that if I lead Spooky together with it, I can self Shadow Sneak to boost my defense for stamina. But it's a pretty lame normal AV set. I'm running Lash Out as the last move instead of Rock Slide because I want to hit Bronzor. I don't like being just walled by something if I can't do anything about it. Heavy Slam, I'm running Heavy Slam instead of Iron Head because I want to hit Togetic mostly. I like Iron Head more in general because it does actually do damage to Dynamax mons, but the power increase against Togetic is really huge. So let's actually get into the match. So that is my team. We will see. Skipping, I forgot to save my team, so I had to do it manually. Okay, let's look at the matchup. So he did bring Dreadnought. That's huge. Like, if he brought Dreadnought, I had to play way different. This just tells me go Mudstail and win. If he had Dreadnought, I would have had to play more casually. Not casually, but I had to take less chances with my Mudstail because it's really good in the endgame. No matter what mons it brings, but I can actually play a bit recklessly with it early on as long as I heal pulse it or reflect or whatever. Registeel 2 looks really nice. So Lancelot and Formosa are kinda annoying. That's really it. Basic setting up screens isn't the best for it either if he just plays smart and doesn't activate my weakness falsely. So I want to wait more. I want to wait to at least a game 2 before I try it out. Gorguys, it hits everything. The like Dragalge, Hatron, Salazzle, Formosa even. It's not the best, it's not bad, but it's not amazing either. Odino is also nice here. Only problem with it is it doesn't touch Hatron. If it brings Hatron, my Odino can be useless if it targets smartly. So my game plan going into game 1 is lead my Hast and my Spooky together, because F4 like it kinda just kills everything on the opponent's team, and it gives me the choice of going for protect, switching out, or like just attacking or switching out and attacking. It gives me a lot of options turn 1. In addition, it gives me information with risk, so I can make better decisions throughout the game because of my Gorgai's ability. In the back, I Like, it's Grimstar and then either Tapu Fini or Audino. I end up picking Audino for this match because I don't want him to yawn, I don't want him to T-wave, I don't want him to wisp. At this point, I'm just noting down his team and stuff, so we can skip. The game starts. Also, I don't have a capture card, so I'm sorry for the actually fucking terrible quality. I'm going to buy a capture card so the rest of the matches won't be as terrible, but you'll have to deal with this. So, you can't really see it, but so this reveals this is not the lead that I was expecting, but Salazzle alone was the reason I didn't want to lead Grimstar, because he can just fake out Surge Bomb into it, he can do whatever and just kill it immediately. So I just wanted to have offense plus block and then have the option of playing around that by switching, pivoting and positioning myself correctly. But yeah, so we also see an eject back Salazzle that tells me it's definitely to overheat, where the strat is to overheat and switch out because of the special attack drop. But Mazil is fucking amazing here. What I'm scared of this turn is him, like, let's say I go for G max Quake into Dragalge and switch my Gorgas into Fini so that he can't wisp me. That is what I'm going to do no matter what he does. Let's say he switches out Salazzle into that he switches Dragalge into Togetic and then overheats and gets Dragalge back in and awaits a turn of Dynamax. I don't want that. I also want my Dynamax up. I don't want to take unnecessary, but I don't want to start taking huge damage on my hats immediately. So I feel kind of pressured to Dynamax so that I can have enough HP for my endgame, because Monster just wins if I play this correctly. We also see an expert belt on Dragalge. I mean, that's nice. That means that he kinda has to go for my Skyzer instead of my Springwind. So yeah, so here I switch my Fini in to not let him wisp my Mudsail with Salazzle. And because I don't want to waste a turn of Max, but I want the double HP, I go for Max Knuckle. I didn't know this at the time, but the Max Knuckle actually gives me enough attack to one hit KO Dynamax Dragalge with Max Quake. I didn't know that, I just didn't want to waste a turn of the potential of Togetic. He ends up going for overheat into my Tapu Fini, which I mean, I wasn't surprised by it. I knew that he had overheat because of the eject pack, but what I was trying to not play into was him wisping my Mudstail and then doesn't do any damage. Mazil just doesn't. I don't want my Mudstail to be almost useless, or at least don't do any damage. We can skip over the max animation. There's not a lot to say here, but it goes for overheat. It doesn't switch out though. It doesn't switch out with Dragalge. But yeah, overheat, eject pack, switches out into who? Into Fermosa. So yeah, he goes for Max Geyser because I am a V max HP. It does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. So my Mudsail is kinda in, I wouldn't say bad position, because it's in a good position, but it's a bit awkward because I'm scared of targeting. I don't want to waste a turn of Dynamax. He could definitely just switch Dragology into targeted care and just trade maxes. Also, even though I go for heal plus, I'm still going to take a rain boosted Max Geyser this turn. So how I'm seeing the game is Formosa isn't that scary. It doesn't have max. I don't need to worry too much about it as long as I keep my Feeny healthy enough. But what happens here is I could have just gone for it as a Gleam Max Quake. Then my monster would have taken a lot more damage. But that would have given me a double knockout. As Formosa is lifer. By the way, that's nice to know into game 2. But my thing is, fucking monster. This isn't even with Reflect or Light Scream up because I didn't want to take the chance of him just counter leading me and I don't get Reflect or Light Scream up with my Grimstar. I wanted to at least be in a decent position before that's one sale. It never put me in a bad position against anything he could have led, even with all 11 of his mons. And he reveals the last one to be, also that turn surprised me when I was playing, because I didn't actually calc how much damage I was going to do. I just wanted to set up for the following turn so that my monster can click buttons. So Dazzle is back in. So I click protect really fast, and the reason for that is Feeny is nice to have. It's just nice to have. What I want to set up here is a position where there's too much offense from me coming in. It doesn't have enough mons alive to take on the rest of my team. So that's why I go for protect in case he sludge bombs or poison jabs. So that I can keep my Fiend alive for the next turn. And not sale, it's at like 60-70%. It's not going to die to anything though. The opponent can do at least. So I want to set up for a 4v2 for the last couple of turns. So I want my Fiend alive. But I'm not sure if he predicts this or not. He could have given me a chance to heal pulse here because we can wait and see what actually happens. He goes for Helping Hands. I did not expect that. If I went for heal pulse here, I couldn't gotten my mod sale up HP, but it's whatever. I want to win this as safely as possible. And here we see Stamina being stupid. Goes for triple axle and does even less damage each turn because of the defense boosts. Salazar had no chance of really killing me or taking me out from the damage and non-Hippocan triple axle because of the speed up boost, because of my AV and stuff. Formosa, I'm not sure why I took out Formosa exactly. I guess I wanted to set up for my core guys endgame because Formosa was scary. There's not a lot of thought going into it, so Lassel isn't as scary as Formosa, and he ends up having Hatchrin as his last one. Now, as far as this looks, I can force a 1v3 by doubling into Salazzle, and then Grunsard and Gorgas can take care of Hatchrin. He basically has to either kill my Mudsail or my Feeny. But something to keep in mind or keep in the back of your head is I'm running min speed on my Hast on Mudsail so that I can. Mudsail is slightly faster. I want to at least punish his other mons in Trick Room, but I can't hope to underspeed Hatchrin. That's why I have min speed. But here he actually ends up going for, yeah, he lets my Phoenix stay alive. I'm not exactly sure why, because my Mansell was going to die regardless. He actually outspeeds my Mansell, which is really nice information going into a game 2, because nothing only speeds Mansell in Trick Room. If he for some reason settles Trick Room, my Mansell is in a really good position. Also something to note here. I could have gone for Skull plus Shadow Sneak to KO this thing guaranteed. But what I end up doing instead is Poltergeist, and what Poltergeist actually does for me is telling me which item he has for the next game. So Skull does a really high amount. I'm not running much special attack on Feeny this week, so I'm surprised since I took yo. It's so useful to guys. The opposing Hatchman is about to be attacked by its focus sash. So that's really good information going into game 2. I'm one game ahead. I know the items on all 4 of his mons. I know that Velocity is a jetpack, Technology is Expert Belt, I know that Third Boss is Life Orb, and I know that his Hatchman is Sash. More than likely, Sogetic is Eagle Light, and depending on what type of music he has, it's either Light Clay or like Jack Button, or even Metal Herb was something I was really scared of going into this game, going into this set, because it's kinda annoying. But I'm one game ahead, so this time I say okay. So this worked out perfectly. Let's mix this up for game 2. Yeah, no has. So I'm going to restore that and Dream Job from my game 2. I'm like, okay, you have to respect my Gorgas, you have to respect my mod sale. I don't see you leading Salazzle because I have a mod sale, I don't care about Salazzle. But mod sale is still really nice to have in the back. And here I'm contemplating between Tapu Fini and Ordino, but I don't want to be T-Wave, I don't want to be yawned by his music, so I end up bringing Fini. So, for game 2, he leads his Hatchman and music. I didn't expect this lead, I just figured he wouldn't lead something that would beat this lead, game 2. So, here I contemplate between maxing immediately or not. But the play I actually end up making is Protect Light Screen. The reasoning behind Protect Light Screen is because I can't Dynamax. I can't Dynamax switch in Fina for Misty Terrain and set up Light Screen the same turn. I can't do that. So what I don't want to Light Screen and then let my Registry get T-waved, because I can really hack me and I can lose. I don't want to take any necessary chances. You could also just do something weird like taking out my Grimstar if I try to protect and taunt. Then I don't have screens and my entire game plan just gets fucked. So I make the safe play of going for Protect Light Screen. The play that he made, kinda expected but didn't think he'd go for, is just setting up his own screens. He didn't even have Yawn or T-Wave after asking him about his prep. But I don't disagree with the play made. So, what's interesting about this turn, right? He set up the Trick Room, so that means my Grimstar actually outspeeds his music and I can go for a taunt before I can do any prankster bullshit. So, like, I'm just thinking like he has screens, he has slasher, he doesn't have mental nerve. I'm just going to attack and taunt. He can't break my Registeel with these mods. Dynamax is boring. Here we go. So Registeel, this, as I said earlier, this is just a bootleg Metagross set. And look at how little damage this does. I know that he's Sash, but I still target him to Hatchram because the following turn I can attack Meowstic and take out the Hatchram. We can't see how much damage it does, unfortunately, because of the production quality. But it does like for 20-30%, it does basically nothing. Like maybe around 20-30. The Sash doesn't, like, I know that he is Sash from the first game, but now I can just take him out with Brimstone. He can't kill my Brimstone with a Gleam because of the light screen. So here I can just get him a heavy hit on Meowstic and take out his Hatchram. Taking out Hatchram means that I'm the king of Trick Room now. I'm not sure I'm going to set up Trick Room, maybe just set up for Gouge in the back is what I'm assuming. But yeah, Gouge can't hit my Registeel either. The reason I'm going for Max Steel Spikes here instead, I could have taken him out with Max Phantasm, but I want to set up as many defense boosts for his Pheromosa or whatever in the back so that I can actually take hits. Since Registeel isn't that strong, especially when he has Reflect Up, so I'm not going to pick up a lot of kills. But I want to set up the defense boost for the late game so that Registeel is a pain to take down, especially if I can get a heal pulse on it. What ends up happening is he does almost nothing to Registeel with Mystical Fire. I take it out with Spirit Break, and Meowstic is a range of Max Quake if I want to change the moves. The answer going to Gouge. That's basically what I figured. I don't see why he would set up Trick Room against me if he didn't have that in the back. Gouge isn't doing anything to me, but I figured, okay, like, I might as well take this turn as a turn to position myself for the late game and get my mod sale in. Especially, I can also give it a Spit Death boost with Max Quake, which just makes Gouge a non-threat, a non-issue. Has gets in, it doesn't protect. I mean, it didn't really matter what move it was going for. It can't touch me. Meowstic dies, Max Quake, bye bye. So at this point, I don't think I actually checked Trick Room, but I either have 1 or 2 turns of Trick Room left. I think I have 1. So, how I'm seeing things, like, it depends on what his last one is, but if it's Pheromosa, which I was assuming it was, because he can't beat me otherwise, if I can remove the Gouge, then my feeling just, because of the Kerbia Berry for P-Jab, my feeling in the back wins this game. Because I'm not actually targeting, I don't remember exactly the reason I went for Protect here. I think in case I went for like Protect with Pheromosa and tried to chip me down with Gouge, I didn't want that. I wanted to have the most HP I could, so that when a 1v4 eventually happened, he would have to take 2 turns to take out my Storda. And yeah, like, the more mods I have alive, the more room I have to play with, because if I'm not careful, he can beat me pretty hard. With Gouge, that basically fucks both my mods in the back. Pheromosa too, so I really need to conserve as much HP on Feeny as possible. I need to conserve HP on Regicide so that with the defense boost he can take a hit from Pheromosa. Because he showed me triple axle last game, I know that he is physical Pheromosa, which makes a lot of sense with Dragonology with Hatchrin to balance it out. I was planning on doing something similar with my Mesprit, but I decided against it and brought Mudsail. So he went for Max Guard. That makes sense. He didn't have Protect on his mom. If I just went for Iron into it and High Horsepower into Dragonology, I basically won. And yeah, there was only one turn friction left too, so after this, Pheromosa is the fastest one, I end up critting Dragonology. I'm not sure exactly how much that mattered, because I protected with Regicide, so he couldn't get any damage off of that mon. And it can't do any damage to, let's say here I check if Trick Room is up. I suppose if he lived and Trick Room is gone, he can actually, it forces me to Ironhead it, so that he can't just take it. It might have turned the game into 2-0 instead for 3-0. It doesn't really matter a lot because of the max steel spike boost, because I preserve damage on my Registeel. I actually leave this ladder for max knuckle without my Dynamax and do like a half. This, yeah. So what I'm actually setting up for is feeding it back, but because I positioned myself earlier in the game to get my Mudsail in, this doesn't give him any free turns. At least if I had Grimstar out, I couldn't. I had to respect Dragonology more. Like, still my Grimstar is doing a hefty chunk to Pheromosa, but at least Dragonology is more threatening to me. And Hast picks up the final kill. Go Test. Yeah, that's the game. Thanks for watching, guys. This is my first commentated match ever, so quality is fucking garbage, but I hope you enjoyed.